Okay, so the materials that I'll be using for my instruction are this book called The World of Animals. It's about animals and their habitats. There's a bunch of different environments and different animals in here. And this will help the kids with their vocabulary, learning bigger words, sounding words out. And then the pictures here will also help the children relate the information to the different words they're learning. And then also I'm going to be using animal figurines, which are going to help engage the children and help them remember the information with the concrete objects. So what I would do is I would first start out, opening the book and explain to the kids what we're going to learn today. Like, hi students, today we're going to be learning about different animals, and we're going to be learning about where they live and what they do and where they live. And there are going to be a lot of good pictures in here. And then I'm going to open the book up, and I'm going to have my different, I'm going to have 3 different habitats marked to kind of like keep it simple for them. And then I would start by reading the book. The book that I would read probably be a little less wordy than this one, but this is like the only one that I could really find at the library. But, I would say, the desert is a wilderness of sand dunes and barren gravel plains that stretches along the coast of southwest Africa. The animals that live in this hot, dry region have developed some unusual ways of coping with the harsh conditions. And then I would point out the desert and maybe ask someone, like, has anyone been to the desert before? And, raise their hand, and then, call on with the kids and ask them, can you describe the desert for me? Was it sandy? Was it warm? Was it hot? Was it cold? And then I'll like go to the picture and ask the kids, like, how does that sand look like it feels? Is it soft? Is it hard? And then maybe ask them to describe the different colors they see. And then, I would go into the next paragraph, talking about lizards. By day, the surface of the sand dunes can reach a baking heat of 140 degrees Fahrenheit. To avoid burning their feet on the hot sand, shovel-snouted lizards dash quickly over the dunes. Whenever they stop, they lift up 2 of their feet at a time. And then I would point, oh, like that lizard looks very slimy. Like, how do you think that lizard feels? And then ask some more questions about the lizard. And I would say, what letter do we think the word lizard starts with? And then maybe have them sound out L. Lizard starts with L. And then I would go to my next habitat that I have, or environment, Antarctica. And I would say, oh my gosh, look at all of these penguins. Like, what colors are these penguins? Where does it look like they live? And then I would read, 7 penguin species live in Antarctica. They all have short, tightly packed feathers and a thick layer of fat to help them cope with the cold. Penguins can't fly, but they are fantastic swimmers. And then maybe I would say something like, did you know that penguins can't fly? It looks like they can fly, but they are fantastic swimmers. And then I would, go read some more about the book, go into detail, point out that, oh, what animal is this? Does anyone know what animal this is? It's a seal. Do we all know what the word seal starts with? What letter it starts with? And then say, S. And then the third habitat I picked was ocean life. And then maybe I'd say, raise your hand if you've ever seen a jellyfish before. Someone answers, and then maybe ask, like, has anyone seen a turtle or touched a turtle before? What does a turtle feel like? And then read more. Turtles are reptiles that first took the seas over 200 million years ago. They are superbly adapted for life in the ocean with strong front flippers and smaller back flippers. Does anyone know that turtles have smaller back flippers and strong front flippers. And then I can go into more detail about octopuses and coral reefs, continue asking the children questions and seeing how they, what else they know about the animals in the book. And then I'll be done with this, and then I will move forward to the different dioramas I made, and I will kind of go into a guided play. And so first I have this right here, and I can have it set up for the kids, or I can just have things, you know, where they want to be, just like moved around, just have them kind of there, and ask the children how they would set it up to mimic Antarctica that we read about. Maybe to start with saying like, oh, you know, an igloo goes here, like put an igloo there, like where would the penguin be in comparison to the igloo? Where would you put the penguin? Oh, there's a penguin right there. Good job. Where would you put the daddy penguin? If that's the mommy penguin, where would he maybe be? There. What else? What colors do we notice about Antarctica? What else does Antarctica need? Maybe some snow. Put that there. You know, all those things. And then I have another diorama that I can also do. That is... Oh, okay. I have another diorama that we could also do. I have two right here. One with the sand, the desert, and the kids. You know, I could have this set up, or I could have things just like strewn about and have them, you know, put the sand on themselves, and just have them play like, ooh, the snake moves through the sand, and there's a cactus that, you know, the snake goes by, and how do you think the sand feels? You know, all that kind of stuff. And then I also have one for the water, and maybe, you know, they could pretend, you know, just moving the shark through the water, and different plants, and realizing that there's rocks in the water at the bottom of the ocean, and just kind of like guiding them through that, asking them questions about the colors and the water and how those all relate. And then I wrote down kind of how the standard, or how this all relates to standard 1.4, and basically, what did I write down? I said that the instruction aligns with standard 1.4 and enhances overall literacy instruction in a few different ways. I am reading the vocabulary-rich book with vivid pictures and asking the students questions and helping them sound out the words during the reading. I'm also using animal figurines with dioramas for guided play and helping them connect what we have read into their play, and using concrete materials.